What's the deadliest animal on Earth? Not a shark, not a snake, not a lion. It's the mosquito that might be in your bedroom tonight. The blood isn't the real problem. What matters is what arrives with it. Before it lands on you, it may have just touched someone else, a person or an animal already carrying disease. Then it becomes a flying syringe, injecting that disease straight into your bloodstream. Malaria alone, dengue alone. These diseases, spread by an insect less than an inch long, kill over 600,000 people every year. And here's what makes it worse. This creature has been on Earth for roughly 240 million years. An asteroid wiped out the dinosaurs. Ice ages came and went. Volcanoes reshaped the planet. Mosquitoes survived all of it. And somewhere along the way, they evolved into something far more dangerous. A hunter engineered to track down humans. Yet mosquitoes don't choose their victims randomly. So why, in a room full of people, does it come straight for you? It pierces your skin with 6 needles at once. So why don't you feel a thing? And is there a way to jam its senses so it flies right past you? To answer that, we need to start somewhere that breaks every assumption you have. Because the ancestors of the mosquito never drank blood at all. So how did a gentle flower feeder turn into today's blood hunting machine? Right now, scientists have recorded about 3,600 species of mosquito. They belong to a group of insects called Diptera. But here's a fact that might surprise you. Of those 3,600 species, most of them are completely harmless to humans. So how did the dangerous ones get this way? The story goes back about 100 million years. Large, warm-blooded mammals began spreading across the planet, and a small group of female mosquitoes hit an evolutionary turning point. Let's be clear on one biological rule. Only female mosquitoes drink blood. Males don't even have the equipment for it. They spend their entire lives feeding on nectar. Harmless from start to finish. Females need blood for a different reason. Producing eggs takes an enormous amount of protein. Nectar can't provide that. So they turn to warm-blooded animals instead. For a female mosquito, blood isn't food. It's a nutrient package for her offspring. From that point on, natural selection took the mouth that once sipped nectar gently and turned it into one of the most precise, most efficient blood extraction tools on the planet. What's remarkable is how little this design has changed. For the last 100 million years, that basic design has barely changed, because for natural selection, it was already close to perfect. To understand why mosquitoes are so effective, we need to look much closer, piece by piece. You know that high-pitched buzz that ruins summer nights. It comes from wings beating 500 to 800 times per second. But that sound isn't just noise from flying. It's a language, an acoustic code they use to communicate and to find a mate. That familiar buzz isn't what makes mosquitoes dangerous. The real threat is the needle that slides into your skin without you noticing. Next time a mosquito bites you, picture this. What's going into your skin isn't one simple hollow tube. It's 6 separate tools, each with its own job. Normally, all 6 are tucked inside a soft protective sheath, waiting. When the mosquito lands, 2 of those tools, lined with tiny serrated edges, saw through your skin like miniature blades. Others pry the tissue apart, holding the wound open. One tube pulls blood in, another injects chemicals into you at the same time. 6 tools, 6 jobs, all happening in seconds without you noticing a thing. And the appetite is staggering. A female mosquito's abdomen stretches like elastic. In one short feeding, she can take in 2 to 3 times her own body weight in blood. But no matter how sharp those tools are, they mean nothing without one more skill: finding you in the first place. So, in the dark, how does a mosquito find you with such precision? Ever notice how, in a group of people, mosquitoes seem to target just one person? Think back. Were you wearing dark clothes today? Did you just finish a cold beer? Mosquitoes carry something close to a 3-stage targeting system. From far away, up to 150 feet, about 45 meters, they detect the carbon dioxide in your breath. That's how they know someone is nearby. People who just exercised, who are pregnant, or who simply have a faster metabolism are easier to spot. As they close in, dark clothing and body heat become the next signal. The darker your clothes, the warmer your body, the more you stand out as a target. Once they're near your skin, one final layer decides where they land. Sweat, lactic acid, and the bacteria living on your skin combine into a unique scent, a signature that tells the mosquito exactly whose blood to take. Now, why don't you feel the bite when it cuts into your skin? Because while it feeds, it injects a custom cocktail of saliva, anesthetic, anticoagulant, vessel dilator, all working together so you never notice. And that itchy red bump afterward? That's not the wound. That's your immune system spotting foreign proteins in the mosquito's saliva, sounding the alarm, and releasing histamine. The itch is your body's reaction, not the bite itself. This is exactly why mosquitoes are so dangerous. They pierce our defenses so easily that they become something far worse than a pest, a flying, dirty syringe. When a mosquito feeds on an infected person, the pathogen moves into its salivary glands, ready to be injected into the next victim. The mosquito pays almost no price for carrying these diseases. The mosquito itself usually doesn't get sick. It just becomes the perfect delivery system. Anopheles mosquitoes are the main carriers of malaria, killing hundreds of thousands of people every year, most of them children in Africa. Malaria has pushed humanity so hard that it forced our own genes to change. In some regions, people evolved sickle cell disease specifically because it offers resistance to the malaria parasite. Historians estimate that of every human who has ever lived, roughly half may have died from a mosquito-borne disease. Rome couldn't do that to humanity. Mosquitoes did. Beyond malaria, Aedes mosquitoes spread dengue, yellow fever, and Zika. Culex mosquitoes spread the parasite behind elephantiasis. Throughout history, entire armies weren't defeated by enemy swords. They were destroyed by the diseases mosquitoes carried through the swamps they marched into. Given everything mosquitoes have done, which leads to a difficult question. If there were a button that could wipe out every mosquito on Earth right now, should we press it? Most people would press it without hesitating. But ecologists ask a different question first. If mosquitoes disappear, what disappears next? Surprisingly, the answer begins thousands of kilometers north, in the Arctic. One mosquito doesn't matter, but tens of billions disappearing at once could rewrite the entire Arctic summer. Think about the Arctic tundra. Every summer, tens of billions of mosquitoes become the single most important protein source for millions of migratory birds that travel there to breed. Without mosquitoes, bird populations would collapse, and it doesn't stop there. Mosquito larvae are a steady food source for fish, tadpoles, and aquatic insects. At the same time, they consume microorganisms and decaying matter, acting like a natural water filter for ponds. Wipe them out, and the food chain, water quality, and nutrient cycle of entire ponds get thrown off from the bottom up. One consequence surprises almost everyone. There's a plant that could go extinct without mosquitoes. In some regions, specific mosquito species are the only pollinators for certain rare orchids. Erase mosquitoes completely, and you risk collapsing that entire food chain. Since we can't just erase them out of anger, we're left with a different reality. An endless arms race. Humans already tried the brute force approach. DDT, and it worked. For a while. Then it started climbing the food chain, concentrating in animal after animal, until it pushed birds like eagles toward extinction. It was banned worldwide, so today, the front line has shifted, away from chemicals, into genetics and biotechnology. One method releases male mosquitoes carrying lethal genes into the wild. Another, currently the most promising, infects mosquitoes with a naturally occurring bacterium called Wolbachia. This blocks their ability to transmit viruses like dengue without stopping them from reproducing. It removes the disease threat while keeping their ecological role intact. But these technologies are still out of reach for most households. So here's what can actually protect you tonight. Since we can't erase mosquitoes from the planet, we need to build a defense, physical and biological, around ourselves. If you only remember one part of this video, make it this. Here's your science-based mosquito defense system. Based on that 3-stage targeting system we talked about, we're going to flip it. Make sure it can't find you at all. The first layer of defense, make yourself invisible to its sense of smell. Skip the home remedies. Use repellents containing DEET, picaridin, or IR3535. These ingredients scramble a mosquito's ability to read your scent, so even if it gets close, it struggles to land accurately. The next layer is visual. Make yourself hard to see and hard to bite. When you're outdoors, wear loose, light-colored clothing. Light colors don't stand out as a target, and loose fabric keeps distance between the cloth and your skin, making it much harder for a mosquito to bite through it. The final layer is the simplest. Eliminate standing water. And it's usually the one people overlook. Check your balcony, check the trays under your flower pots. Even a bottle cap's worth of stagnant water can become a breeding ground for hundreds of mosquitoes. Destroy the nursery, and you cut the problem off at its source. In the end, humans have never truly beaten mosquitoes by destroying them. Not with poison, not with chemicals. We've beaten them by understanding them, by learning exactly how they hunt and turning that knowledge against them. Tonight, when you hear that familiar buzz again, remember what you're actually listening to. Not just background noise on a summer night, but an ancient hunter that has survived asteroids, ice ages, and mass extinctions. 240 million years, and counting. Fortunately, now you know exactly why it can find you. And now, you know exactly how to make sure it never does. If you're tired of getting torn apart by mosquitoes every summer, and this defense system actually helps you, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned. In the next episode, we'll uncover another ordinary creature or everyday phenomenon that hides an extraordinary survival strategy. See you next time.